Hello students, myself Alisha. I hope you all are doing well in this quarantine time. So children, today we will be doing lesson number 2 of English Rose, your reader book, and the name of the lesson is The Sailor. It's a very short and a very beautiful poem written by Rabindranath Tagore. Firstly, let me give you all a basic introduction of the poet. So, Mr. Rabindranath Tagore, popularly known as Kavi Guru, was born on May 7, 1861 in Calcutta. He was a poet, a philosopher and an artist. He wrote many stories, poems and some Bengali dramas even. One of his notable achievements is the Nobel Prize in Literature 1913. Some of his famous poems are Gitanjali, Vocation, Veer Purush and many more. Now let's come on to the poem. The name, as we have read, The Sailor. So children, do you all know who's a sailor? Alright, let me tell you. A sailor is a person whose job is to work as a member of the crew of commercial naval ship or a boat, especially the one who is below the rank of officer. I hope you all understood the meaning of the sailor. So students, it's the poem written by Rabindranath Tagore, which is actually the imagination of the poet. So basically, here in this poem, the poet expresses his imagination while he is wandering of a child who sees the boat with cargo at the wharf and thinks it's such a waste to let the boat stand there for so long. So here he wonders that once if he is given the permission to take the boat for sail, then where it would go and what would he do of that boat? So students, let's read the poem and find out what exactly the child wishes to do. Now, I'll be reading the poem line by line and then we'll discuss it. The boat of the boatman Madhu is moored at the wharf of Rajgunj. It is uselessly laden with jute and has been lying there for idle for ever so long. If he would only lend me his boat, I should man her with 100 oars and hoist sail 5 or 6 or 7. I should never steer her to the stupid markets. I should sail the 7 seas and the 13 rivers of fairyland. But, mother, you won't be for me in a corner. I'm not going into the forest like the Ramchandra to come back only after 14 years. So the boat actually belongs to the man whose name is Madhu. Alright? What the child could see is the boat is tied at the wharf of Rajgunj from a long time, lying idle and uselessly loaded with jute fiber. So, then the poet says, if we would only lend him the boat, he would move it or sail it with 100 oars. So, what is oars? The long pole that is flat and white at one end, which is used for moving a small boat through water. Or you can say the wooden stick used to move the boat. So here 5 or 6 or 7 means different types of hoist which he would offer it, the boat. Alright. So as you could see in line 5, he would never wish to take the ship to the stupid markets Rather, he would sail it to the 7 seas, which are the Mediterranean Sea, the Black Sea, the Aegean Sea, the Red Sea, the Adriatic Sea, the Persian Sea, and the Arabian Sea. And he would also take it to the 13 rivers of fairyland. Now, from the next line, what you could see is the child is concerned for his mother, and he says, "Mother, don't weep for me at the corner," which means he tells his mother about his journey, which will end up at the evening on the same day. So, no need to worry or cry for me as if I am going to the forest for next 14 years like Lord Ram did. So in this para, what you could read is, "Mother, you won't be for me in a corner. I am not going into the forest like Ramchandra." So Ramchandra is the Lord Ram. So when Lord Ram came after 14 years of his worship, so he trying to mention that only. So children, we have completed the poem till here. Now let's move on to the next page of our poem and end it up there. "I shall become the prince of the story and fill my boat with whatever I like. I shall take my friend Ashu with me. We shall sail merrily across the 7 seas and the 13 rivers of fairyland. We shall set sail in the early morning light. When at noontide you are bathing at the pond, we shall be in the land of a strange king. We shall pass the fort of Tepurni and leave behind us the desert of Tepantar. When we come back, it will be getting dark, and I shall tell you of all that we have seen." So, here what he means to say is, in this para, he wants to become the prince of the story and fill the boat with whatever he likes. So students, when you compare this line with the picture given in the book, you could find the similarities. You could see the boat is filled with the sack of fruits, which may include his favorite one also, and a sack filled with luxury like gold coins, diamonds, and many other gems. He also wishes to take his friend Ashu with him to the journey and try to sail joyfully across the 7 seas and 13 rivers of fairyland. This is a total imagination to have fun and enjoy their journey. In these paras, he says to his mother that they will be leaving in the early morning before the sun rises, and at noontide here means afternoon. Okay, so during afternoon, when you are bathing at the pond, they shall leave behind the land of a strange king. So this shows that this will take time for them to cross the rivers at different places. Next route will be when they will be passing through the fort of Tirupurni and leave behind the desert of Tepantar. So Tepantar is a fictional desert in Old Bengal, which is actually visualized by the child and does not exist. Okay, so students, here do not forget that we are reading a fictional story which does not exist in the real life, but it is the imagination of the poet. So all which we heard about in this poem is all the imagination of the poet. Alright? Let's come back to the poem and end it up. I shall cross the 7 seas and the 13 rivers of fairyland. So, in the last few lines, we could read that he is saying when he comes back, it will be dark, and after coming back to his home, he will share his mother all what he has seen during his journey. And while returning, he will follow the same path by crossing 7 seas and the 13 rivers of fairyland. Here we end up our poem. which is written by Rabindranath Tagore. Hope students, you all have understood the poem. Now let's begin doing the book exercises. So firstly we will be doing the word meanings which are mentioned in the book also. So let's begin. First word meaning, mood, which means tied. As we have read it in the poem also, the boat was tied at the Wharf of Rajgunj. Second, wharf, a place for boats to stop. So it's a place on the bay of a river or a canal where all the boats are stopped, right? Then third is laden, which means loaded heavily. So students, from the poem we know the boat was loaded heavily with jute fiber so that it does not move elsewhere when it is kept idle. Alright. Then fourth one, ford, a place in a river where the water is shallow and one can walk across. So this is very easy to understand that it's a place where the water level is a little low so that one can move easily. So these are the 4 word meanings which are given in the book also. Now let's move further and do the book exercise first. Children, first book exercise is give one word answer. Now let's read it. Name of the boatman the speaker mentions. That is Madhu. So this answer is mentioned in the very first line of the poem also. When you read the poem, you will get to see it. And second is name of the place where the boat is moored. That is the Rajgunj. The place is also mentioned in the poem itself in the first line. Then third, number of the rivers according to the speaker in the fairyland. That is 13. He has mentioned 13 rivers of fairyland. Then the fourth one, name of friend the speaker wishes to take with him. That is Ashu, his friend with whom he wishes to take with him. Then fifth, name of the place where the speaker intends to pass the ford. That is Tiruponi. Tiruponi is the place where the speaker intends to pass the ford. So students, we have completed this exercise. Now let's move on to the next exercise, which is answer the following questions. Here I am reading the questions one by one and then we will be discussing the answers along with it. The first question is, why does the speaker say that the boat is uselessly laden with jute? The answer is, the speaker says that the boat is uselessly laden with jute because he doesn't understand business and fail to understand why instead of sailing, the boat is waiting idle at the wharf laden with jute. So children, as we have read it in the poem also, the speaker is a child. So he fails to understand and he is not even able to understand that why the boat is lying idle. And instead of sailing, it is kept aside. So it is useless for the speaker. Now let's move on to the question 2. What preparations does the speaker need to make before setting sail? The speaker need to fix 100 oars in the boat and ask his friend Ashu to come with him before setting sail. So in this answer, he has mentioned various preparations which are to be done before setting sail. One of the preparation which he has mentioned is fix 100 oars. What are oars? So the oars, this word we have discussed during the explanation of the poem also. So let me tell you again. Oars are the long pole that is flat and wide at one end, which is used for moving a small boat through water. Alright. So he has to fix 100 oars in that boat. And then second preparation is that he has to call his friend Ashu for setting sail. Alright, student. Now let's move on to the question 3rd. Now the question 3. When will the speaker set sail? The speaker will set sail at dawn, morning light. So the speaker has mentioned this thing in the poem also, that they will be leaving at the early morning. Alright. So he has written this word dawn, which means morning light. That is early morning they will be leaving. Question 4th. Where does the speaker think he will be at noon? Answer. At noon, the speaker and his friends shall be in the land of a strange king. So during noon time, as a part of their journey, they will be at a land of a strange king. So they will be at a different place. Alright. So that different place the speaker has mentioned as a land of a strange king. Then the next question. Question 5. How long does the speaker think this journey will take? Pick the lines from the poem to support your answer. The speaker thinks that the journey will take a day. He will return back to home in the evening. When we come back, it will be dark, and I shall tell you all that we have seen. These lines from the poem supports my answer. So in this answer, the speaker is telling how much time their journey will be taking. So he has mentioned it that the journey will take a day. He will return back to home in the evening. So children, we have read it that they will be leaving at the early morning, and now they are coming back to home at the evening. So this is taking a complete day. Alright. When we come back, it will be dark, and I shall tell you of all that we have seen. So when we read these lines, we could see that the journey has taken a day. Students, we have completed answer the following questions. Now let's move on to the extract of the poem, and I'll be reading the extract and then we'll discuss question answers from it. I should never steer her to the stupid markets. Question 1. What steers the boat to these markets? The boatman Madhu steers the boat to these markets. So children, it's very easy to understand that before the speaker took it for sale, Madhu used to take it to the stupid markets. Now let's do the question 2. Question 2. What does the speaker calls the market stupid? The speaker calls the market stupid probably because money, business is not interesting as well as meaningless to him. Instead of going there, he intends to explore fairyland. So children, we know that the speaker was a child and he was not interested in all this business. So he said it is meaningless, and instead of going to these stupid markets, he intends to explore fairyland. Alright? Then the next question. Question 3. Where does the speaker wish to take the boat instead? Answer 3. The speaker wished to take the boat to 7 seas and 13 rivers of fairyland. This line we have read in the poem also, that instead of going to the stupid markets, he wished to take the boat to the 7 seas and 13 rivers of fairyland. The 7 seas I have described during the explanation of the poem are the Arabian Sea, the Aegean Sea, the Adriatic Sea, etc. These are not very important to learn, So the speaker has just mentioned that these are the 7 C's. Now, next question. What does this line tell us about the speaker? Answer. This line tells us about the speaker that he is a child and is not interested in business or practical life. He is an imaginary child and roams in his mind in fairyland. So, I've told you all in this poem in the very beginning that the speaker is a child who is least interested in earning money, doing business, and take the board through the stupid markets. So students, we end up our lesson here. Now children, as you could see, I have written the book exercises also which were mentioned in the book. I know you all might not be having the books, so these exercises you can just copy from the video or you can take screenshots as per your choice. You can also take screenshots of the poem so that you can read it at your home. One more important thing, I will be sending the book exercises including question answers in your class groups on WhatsApp. Till then, bye-bye and take care. And do not forget to stay home and stay healthy. Thank you.